Hello everyone, hello and welcome back to our Summoner Job Quest Odyssey and our level 30 mission. What do we got, Yamicha? Austerities of Earth. Okay, well, yeah, alright, that makes sense. I remember last time she was saying that we had to come back after we'd already defeated Titan. Let's see what we got. Titan's essence infuseth your aura, Grunty. I foresee no further obstacles preventing us from attempting the next ritual. Shall you proceed with your austerities of Earth? I have every confidence that you will succeed in binding Titan Eggy to your will. According to my research, the most suitable location in the ritual is a place found to the southwest of Outer Springs in the North Shroud. A heretofore buried layer of ancient rock exposed by the violent upheavals of the calamity has lent the surrounding area an overwhelming earthen aspect. The conditions will be perfect. I will await you at our destination, Grunty. Alright, cool. Too easy. Well, that does make sense. What with all the golems wandering around at Alder Springs there. So we're gonna teleport to the North Shroud. Now, I thought that since these episodes have started coming out, I think as of when I'm recording this, I think we got 4 episodes of the Arcanist quests up so far. And we've been getting a couple of interesting questions and comments that I thought I'd like to address sooner rather than later. I'm going to get out our freed Eggy for this one, obviously. So, first question is from Legendary the War King, who says this is going to seem like a weird question, but if you compared the knowledge that you'd gain as a scholar to that of a summoner, which one would gain the most? That's not a weird question. That's actually a really interesting question. So, if you were to think about it, I mean, so the implications that we get through the story, right, are that the summoners are studying Alig, and the scholars are studying Nim, right? That's what the story is implying. That's what the story is all about. Now, it seemed intuitive, at least to me, that the Alligans accrued a lot more knowledge than the Nimians ever did. However, the ritual you're about to perform is essentially no different from the austerity of the flame. Instead of fire, however, you'll be concentrating on shifting your etheric balance towards the spectrum of Earth. Once you have achieved the required state of earthen affinity, the primal's captured essence will tumble forth and coalesce into the stony form of Titan Eggy. As before, you must demonstrate unflinching authority if you would convince the newborn avatar to heed your commands. Let us begin. Alright, so same as last time when we were talking about this last time, for the first ritual summoning, it greatly helps us to be in a place where there's plenty of ether aspected to that which the primal is aligned. Oh geez, we're even getting his theme song. How about that? That is a big old Titan Eggy. Alright, I'll come back to the question later, because we need to complete here the austerities of Ron Jeremy. Oh god, I don't know why I'm bringing that up again. So anyone who hasn't seen me talking about that before, let's just put up a proper picture of Titan there. Now, this is Viv's theory, not mine. I can't take full responsibility for this. Actually, it was probably my fault, come to think of it. But if Titan isn't just the spitting image of Ron Jeremy, and you know, actually no, we're not going to put up a picture of Ron Jeremy. Let's not do that. Look, just take my word for it, all right? So Viv and I have been calling Titan Ron Jeremy for the longest time. Anyway. And gotta love his theme song. Again, I always play with the BGM off, so the Titan theme is one of those things I haven't heard for such a long time. I need to stop being so distracted, keep my dots up on this Eggy. Or this way Eggy. Alright. Okay. Earthen Fury. That's a very small Earthen Fury. That's adorable, isn't it? So back to our question. Oh, hello. Moraine Golem, the etheric throat takes the very ground. Well, Yumitra seems plenty relaxed about that, actually. Alright, we'd better take this motherfucker off there. Come here. Alright, did we do it? Did we do good? Oh, well done, Grunty. She's got the weirdest haircut, doesn't she? Oh, here's old mate. Here's cheeky old mate. I come in search of Allegan relics, and what do I find but a pair of incompetent dabblers? By what jest of fate did you chance across such undeserved power? And who might you be, sir, to so boldly question our accomplishments? If you have indeed unlocked the secrets of summoning, then you must be in possession of the very treasure I seek. How terribly convenient. I need only slay you both and take what I need from your bloody corpses. Come at me, bro. Goth below, a summoner? But how? You didn't guess that from the attire? Cease your infantile prattle. The continuation of my divine work far outweighs the worth of your pitiful lives. Interesting, though, that he has the red eyes, doesn't he? Ooh. Defeat the Dark Summoner. How fortunate to die by my hand. Naught but ash shall remain of your wretchedness. Alright, I'm defending myself, bro. I got this. I'm all over this nonsense. Alright, let's, I don't know if we can really do... He doesn't have a health bar. Oh, yes he does. What am I saying? We just haven't done anything to him. Alright, so back to the question. You would think, right, intuitively, that the Allegans would know more. However, I think I've mentioned... Oh, shit. Oh, fuck me. Fuck me. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, so as I was saying in a previous episode, the Scholar combat class and the Scholar profession are two very different things. And the Scholar that we play happens to be based on the, you know, the combat arts of the Nimians. But that doesn't mean that we're... I guess it doesn't mean that we're sort of limited to that knowledge and reading those things. Does that make any sense? That's sort of the way I think of it anyway. So I feel like you'd probably end up gaining pretty similar knowledge as either of them. With that said, I tend to think of the, what happened there? Did we do him? Oh, we did him. Why do you struggle so? Your unwillingness to accept oblivion but delays the inevitable. Heed me, Avatar of Eternal Flame. Incinerate these fools in an all-consuming hellfire. What? Yeah, Ronnie! Feel nature's fury, you vile blackguard! I tire of this childish game. Thank your gods for granting you another day of miserable existence. Alright, see a bish. He's gone. What a decidedly unpleasant fellow. See, why can't Titan always be that big? You learn how to summon Titan Eggy! All right, Yumitra, let's get the talking out of the way because I've barely answered half a question here. Why, the debt we return to Upkelly Forth. I have no desire to linger here and chance another encounter with whomever that deranged mage was. Okay. All right. And that's the whole thing. Wow. Okay. So like I say, we got through half a question. And I'm so scattered now. Train of thought is difficult. It's a difficult thing to keep on track. So the way I think of Summoner is basically it's a scholar that has decided to, major in Allergan studies, right? I feel like to be a summoner, you need to know all of the things that a scholar knows. And to be a scholar, well, it's sufficient to know all of the things that an Arcanist knows, right? I mean, the whole Nimian thing is mostly all about the fairy, right? And the edge that gives us. But, yeah, like I was saying last time, I mean, Y'shtola, she's a scholar. She's not a scholar as a combat class, as a preferred combat class, but she's a Charlene scholar. That's what she is. That's her profession. Same with most of the Scions. In fact, the only one I'd sort of excuse from the title of scholar would be Ada, because she's a bloody meathead. But there's that. Now, before we turn this in, let's have a look at some of these other comments real quickly. So Kim Sato says, in Japanese, blue and green are sometimes considered the same color, or that some greens are considered a shade of blue in Japanese language. The word for green is newer than the word for blue, and these days, aoi is used instead of Midori. So confusing when you live here or learning the language. Fun fact, the green man for road crossings is described as aoi. Okay, so that makes sense. So it's only been until quite recently that the term Midori, I guess, has been used to distinguish. So this is in reference to, we all complain about the Emerald Carbuncle and how it's actually blue. But in Japanese, blue and green are not so distinct as they are in English, so it's not really that incorrect. Gamer100825 says, Emerald is a green beryl gemstone that can also be blue, yellow colors, pink and red. Many gemstones color will vary if it is impure. Topaz can also be a rainbow of colors, so someone needs to send Koji a geology textbook. Now, that is true of our world, but as far as I can tell, we name gemstones in Eorzea precisely for their colors. And their color is dictated by their elemental leaning. So if they are leaning towards, say, fire aspect, they're going to be red. We're going to call it a ruby. I don't think that the actual sort of geological component of the gemstone is actually all that important in Eorzea. We're giving it a name because it has a certain elemental leaning. That's the way I sort of think of it. Brent Phillips asks, have you ever leveled the crafting professions, Ethys? I've leveled some of them. From memory, Arcanist books have geometry, but it's the etherically conductive ink which makes it a viable tool for spellcasting, and the reason Alchemist makes books. Also, Jif and Jules have etheric aspects. Okay, we've already talked about that. Also, black mage weapons often contain bone or horn as the piece of a formerly living being, acts as a superior etheric conductor for their mages. That's true. Now, about the ink. So when a Arcanist is fighting, your focus is on your book. You're reading, you're looking at your little patterns or whatever. That's what you're focusing on most of the time. So it makes sense that the point of focus for you is where you're going to have the easiest time pulling ether from. So we want to have a book that both contains as much ether as it can, which is why you sometimes see like gemstones and stuff attached to the books themselves. And obviously also the ink does contain ether, and also something that is, as you say, etherically conductive, so will draw ether into itself from, the surrounding land and whatever. So the book is our like primary wellspring, and yes, it does make sense that it's etherically conductive and has these really that it's a wellspring. I said wellspring twice in the same sentence, describe what a wellspring is. Anyway, that's not important. You understand what I'm saying. The point is that yes, the ink is very important. The geometry is also important. But it's another reason why arcanists are pretty useless without their books, is that even if you have all of these patterns committed to memory, if you don't have the conductivity of the book itself that can draw ether from the surrounding land, then you're going to have to do it yourself, and that's a little bit more difficult, given that presumably skin isn't as etherically conductive as whatever this special ink is. So that's that one. We had a couple of theories about Dosmaga. I know this was a long time ago, but it seems that no one's had any really genius ideas about that. No offense, guys. Dosmaga, Great Catapult thinks he makes you feel sick in the stomach twice over. Yeah, that's not bad. Two stomachs could mean something along the lines of him having twice the stomach of a normal pirate. Yeah, Zupity's up. That's more or less what I was thinking as well. Matt G says probably just refers to him being able to eat or drink a lot. Seems pretty fitting for a pirate. And I agree. I don't know. I feel like I might have been missing something with his name, but I guess I wasn't. I must say I did not expect to meet another practitioner of the summoning arts, and I also did not expect to be so suddenly fighting for my life. What precious treasure do we carry that this callous stranger would be so willing to kill us to possess it? Such mysteries aside, I'm most glad that you were able to secure Titan Eggy before the summoner decided to unleash his fiery avatar. Without its protection, I doubt we would have survived that conflagration. The Eggy of Earth, as was so aptly demonstrated, excels at defense. You should certainly take the time to explore its capabilities as well as the limitations. Be careful, however, not to neglect your offense completely. Meanwhile, I shall confer with my colleagues in the Sons of St. Koinak and see what I might learn of that hostile summoner. We shall meet anon. Oh, awesome, and we also get Fester. Alright. You have the soul of the summoner equipped, casting a spell. Summon 2 will now call upon the Titan Eggy instead of the Topaz Carbuncle. Oh, poor Topaz. Poor Topaz. Alright, well, there's a level 35 quest. As you can probably see, I'm actually at level 40 at the moment, so I'm going to dive straight into the next one. But thank you all for watching. I hope I answered some of the more pressing questions. If I didn't answer a question that you've asked in anything after our episode 4 of our Arcanist class quest, then that question doesn't exist yet. I haven't seen it, so I'll get to that sooner or later. So keep asking your questions. They're great. They're good. Gives me something to ramble on about. And you guys do know how much I love rambling. Someone also told me, and this is a curious thing for me, but I guess it is a cute little touch. They were like, "Oh, you should totally get Grunty to like wave or something at the end of the episode because it's like nice, gives you some closure." So there we go. Take care, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. Hello everyone and welcome back to Apkalu Falls, and I just noticed these tights, goddamn Grunty has nice legs. I mean, they're pretty revealing. You can see right up Grunty's grundle, but that's neither here nor there. Dude's obviously not skipping leg day, which is good to see. It's good to see. Good to know that the RR aren't skipping leg day. Ymitra, we've just done our Austerities of Ron Jeremy. We're going to be getting, oh nice, try bind, okay. And we're going to be tracking down this dark summoner of ours, who we have a few clues about, which I'm sure you're going to tell me. How fared you with your training, Grunty? I've actually been standing right here for like the last 30 seconds since we spoke last, so yeah, I mean, it's been going. For my part, I've had some success in uncovering the identity of our mystery attacker. Wow, that was really fast. We knew that our assailant was capable of summoning Ifrit Eggy, so I perused the records of past expeditions to those who claimed to have triumphed against the Lord of the Inferno. Of these victorious primal hunters, there were 8 names, listed as present whereabouts unknown. After eliminating unlikely candidates based on race and gender, well, come on, don't bring race and gender into this. I was left with but a single name, Tristan. I mean, he could be a Rogaden that just, like, identifies as a hero. You've got no reason to judge. Assuming the records are accurate, this hero was once... I mean, the other way around. He could be a hero that identifies as Rogaden. This hero was once registered as a soldier in the Immortal Flames. As to how the man came by his skills as a summoner, or why he thought to kill us, however, I remain woefully ignorant. Nevertheless, I've witnessed him use the art of summoning for casual brutality, and that I cannot countenance. This power should never be employed for the sake of tyranny or personal gain. It was meant to oppose such evils. It is our responsibility to bring this Tristan to justice. Should we stand idle, his reprehensible actions could very well stain the good name of future summoners who have yet to answer their calling. The art itself could be outlawed, the very mention of it taboo. Now, through my inquiries, I was able to determine that a war comrade of Tristan's stays in the military resides in Little Alamigo. I ask that you pay a visit to this former soldier and learn what he knows about our callous villain. Alright, so it seems already, and I don't want to... I don't know why I'm worried about spoiling it, because I'm sure that like most of the people watching have already leveled Summoner. But the implication here, sending us to Little Alamigo to see one of his former comrades, it seems that Tristan is carrying the same baggage that every former Alamigan refugee carries. The kind of baggage that we see from Ilbert, the kind of baggage that we see from Minfilia from time to time, even, as a matter of fact. Anyway, let's go see what our old mate has to say. Is he down here? Yes. Former Immortal Flame. Well, it seems like Tristan wasn't telling tall tales after all. He said I could expect some primal added sod to show up and start asking questions. Why don't you stay here and play with some friends of mine? I have a message to deliver. He's all yours, ladies. Ooh, alright. Oh, yeah, of course. Alright, they're Dusk Whites. Can you guys freaking believe this every single time? Are you a Dusk White as well? Yes, you're a Dusk White. We're always the nameless bad guys, aren't we? Aren't we just? And once again, I'm forced to murder 3 of the only Dusk White females in the entire frickin' realm. Alright, well, someone's going to pay for that one. Return to Ymitra at Apkallu Falls. Alright. Alright, Ymitra, that was not super productive. You were set upon? The fiend is one step ahead of us. I'd wager 10 years of dig site findings that Tristan warned his old allies long before you set foot in that settlement. Well, that's literally what the dude said. They thought you one of the Tempered, a mortal in thrall to a primal's will. In addition to being ruthless, it appears that our opponent is highly intelligent, and not quite as deranged as I first assumed. Such a level of planning hints at the existence of some greater scheme, but that is still all we know. For the moment, we must be content with the knowledge that he perceives us as a threat and is aware of our efforts to track him. Speaking of which, you did exceedingly well to survive the trap into which I blissfully sent you. I must apologize for my carelessness. I will not underestimate this man again. On a happier note, however, my efforts to decipher the Allegan text proceed apace. Here, you must read this. With your skills already tried and tested against the Eggy, you should have little difficulty in mastering a secondary summoning technique such as this. Let us put this day's disaster behind us and focus on the wonders that lie ahead. Alright, there we go, try mind. So once again, as someone was asking me last time, you know, which accrues the most knowledge between Summoner and Scholar as we level them as combat classes, not as like a, I guess, a general concept. You could count the number of skills that each gains and compare them against one another. I mean, seems as good a way as any. But once again, I just don't think it's an easy question to answer simply because what a combat scholar is and what a professional scholar is are two very, very, very different things. You know what I mean? And I feel like a professional scholar is far more well-read than just in the Nimian stuff, which our combat scholar tends to focus on. And that furthermore, the combat summoner is probably equally as well-read, is probably, in most accounts, a professional scholar that just happens to take a particular interest in wielding Allagan techniques in combat. And that's probably a much clearer explanation than I offered last time. But speaking of last time, this is the shortest bloody quest that we've done ever. So I'm going to tack this onto the end of the last episode. We're going to have level 35 and 40 in one episode, seeing as most of you were saying that the occasional half-hour episode doesn't really upset you all that much. So that's what this one is going to be. So forgive the janky outro before we'll do the proper one now. I'll give you your sodden wave. There you go. Cute little smile from Grunty. We can still see Grunty's grundle. So say goodbye to that, because presumably by the time I get to 45, I'm going to have some proper pants. But thank you all for watching. Continue to leave your questions and your comments below. I'm really glad that you guys are getting a kick out of me doing these and that you're engaging with it. And I hope that I can sort of help you with some lore tidbits and stuff as we go, as well as entertaining you, of course. That's what the channel's all about. So keep asking your questions, like I say. And until next time, cheerio everyone. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.